Welcome back to Sky News Breakfast. Now, millions of women suffer from severe period problems. However, almost a third of those never seek medical help for their symptoms over fears that they won't be taken seriously. Now, a new campaign is looking to end that stigma.
I'd cry, scream. Sometimes I'd sleep in the bathroom because I need to vomit.
My mum, she had heavy, painful periods when she was younger, so we just thought this was hereditary.
I think my son missed out on a lot of stuff that mummy could do with him because mummy can't get up. It's not just a period.
Well, joining me now on the sofa, we have the Chair of Wellbeing of Women, Professor Dame Lesley Regan, and also you saw her in that video, fibroid campaigner Dawn Heels. Lovely to see you both.
Thank you.
And Dawn, just tell us a little bit more about your story and how much pain and suffering you were in.
So in 2016, I was at a very stressful job and I noticed that I had pain in my left side, in my abdomen, and I thought it was related to stress. Also, could it be my cycle? But then the pain persisted. I went to my doctor. He said, it's probably something to do with your cycle. So I went home. About a week later, I thought, no, this persisted. Went back to my doctor. Again, he said, something to do with your cycle, go away. I then went to see a female doctor because I thought there's something not right. You know, in yourself as a woman, something's not right. So I went to see her and she said, oh, it's probably a cyst on your ovary, but I'll send you away for a scan.
Which sounds terrifying, to be frank.
Yeah.
It's probably just that.
It's just probably just very blasé, but, you know, I knew at some point I'd want to have kids. So to hear that was just awful. I went for a scan, ultrasound scan, and they found that I had 2 fibroids. So the lady said to me, you've got 2 fibroids. I thought, fibroids, what are those? So she said, go back to your doctor and he will explain to you. So I went back to the same GP and he said to me, you've got 2 fibroids. They're very common. There's nothing to worry about. Just take an ibuprofen for your symptoms.
Now, of course, you wanted to have children, but you were going through all of this pain. How easy was it to get them removed?
It was difficult. So I had 6 years of pain where I literally had to plan my life around my periods. So I told you that I had pain in my abdomen that spread to the right side, so it was continuous pain. I had back pain, I had leg pain, I had extreme bloating, I had a protruding belly, and the irony was, because I wanted to fall pregnant, I was actually infertile.
And for those who don't know, just explain very briefly what fibroids are.
So fibroids are non-cancerous tumours. So if you look on the NHS website, that's how it is described as. And 2 in 3 women, they suffer with fibroids. They will suffer with fibroids in their lifetime. They'll have at least one. So it's very, very common. And it's just something that really is not talked about at all.
So we're talking about it today, Dame Lesley. You know, obviously, a great deal about fibroids, Chair of Wellbeing of Women. Why do you think it's important that we talk more about these things, that down below things to do with ladies are not often discussed?
Well, I think it's such a sad story because all of that waiting around and a life really spoilt for many years. So thank you for sharing that story with us this morning. And I'm afraid it's just too common. I've been a gynaecologist for many decades now, it seems. And this is a very common problem. I used to have I still do have a fibroid clinic at St Mary's where women would come in, they're very frightened, their lives are debilitated by their pain and their very heavy bleeding and the bump that they see, as Dawn had just explained. It really is, it's very distressing because people say, oh, are you pregnant? And that was what she wanted to be, but her fibroids were preventing her. So the Just a Period campaign that we've launched today, the charity I chair, Wellbeing of Women, is trying to take away the dismissal and the sort of this isn't a problem, because it is a problem if women at the height of their careers or you know in their role as parents are disabled by pain and heavy bleeding and problems like this, which are really very easy to resolve if they get the right information and the right guidance. I keep saying what we need to do is to signpost women to the services that they need. And that's what this campaign, I hope, will achieve.
And talking about it more will help reduce the stigma, but also for lots of women, periods aren't a massive issue. It's just part of life and, you know, they're perhaps lucky enough not to particularly suffer pain or heavy bleeding. But for other women, as you say, massively debilitating, not just because of fibroids, just because of the period itself.
Absolutely. So fibroids are one reason why women go and see gynecologists, but about 1 in 5 of all outpatient referrals are due to heavy, painful periods or just heavy periods. And this is a problem that I keep explaining to people is so common. I mean, most women and girls we know have 12 periods a year for nearly 40 years of their lives. So this is a common everyday occurrence. And that's what I'm really hoping the Just a Period campaign launched today by Wellbeing of Women is going to achieve, that we all talk about it, everybody knows about it, and it's common to get guidance about where you can go to get help, because you don't need to suffer from heavy periods and you don't need to suffer from painful periods. They're symptoms, but they're caused by many different things. Fibroids is one of them. But as you've heard, if you go to the right place and see the right person, you can get treatment.
And Dawn, your story has a happy ending because you got your fibroids out and you've also now got
a baby.
Congratulations. Well,
thank you.
Well done. But, you know, it was your persistence. And I suppose your recommendation would be for people to persist if you're not getting an answer that gives you any satisfaction.
Yes, advocate for yourself. And I think what's great, you can go and have a look at other advocates that are online. They are really, really trying to spread the word and tell, you know, each other about what the symptoms are. So as Lesley says, well, you know, heavy, painful periods, that is not normal. That's something that I suffered with for years, even before the 6-year diagnosis. So advocate.
OK, we will. Dawn Heels and Professor Dame Lesley Regan. Great to see you both. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you very much.
Now, could these pictures that we're about to show you, be proof that aliens exist? That's the question being asked of Mexican politicians.